and I'm back with another video for Ophelia Talks. And today in this video we are making the Anna square. Yes, I have renamed it. We have used various names for this square, and although they are all valid, I think we should start calling this square the Anna square. Anna was the name of my grandma. She used to love making these squares. She was making them all the time. She made so many blankets with these squares, and I do believe that is her legacy. And it's me who is now passing on this legacy to all of you to start making these squares. I know a lot of you already do, but I just wanted to refresh your memory, or for all those who have joined the channel in the recent months, this is the square that my grandma used to make so many blankets in, that I then received, or that I was then instructed to gift to someone who was having a baby. A lot of my friends, a lot of my family, they all have blankets made by my grandma. And I want to pass that legacy on to all of you. Start making these squares, start keeping them, start making blankets, and start gifting them, because that is your legacy too. So what do you need for this? Because that is the thing. This blanket, this project, this ongoing legacy of yours can be made with whatever yarn you have. I am using DK, I am using leftovers, I am using my stash. I have, in my web shop, I have got a few packs that are actually called legacy packs. And those are basic packs of 10 balls of a color palette to get you started. 10 balls will make you a blanket, smaller, not a double bed size, but smaller. But of course, I want you to add to that. I want you to add your own colors and turn them into your unique palette, your unique blanket. These packs will be available at all times, and of course, there's nothing stopping you from just using your stash. All you need is a ball of yarn, a hook and a pair of scissors, and you can make this square. Learn the pattern by heart. I'm going to give you some tips and tricks on how to do that in this video, and that way you will always have a pattern in your head, a pattern that you can make. So I hope you will join me in starting to make these squares, piling them up and turning them into blankets. Whilst you are sorting out your yarn, let me just quickly tell you about BetterHelp. You have often heard me say to give yourself some me time, some crochet time, and how crochet can be your therapy. But I'm not a professional, and I would like to see you seek out professional help if and when you need it. And now you can. This is a paid advertisement for BetterHelp. Is something interfering with your happiness or preventing you from achieving your goals? Regardless if you have a clinical mental health issue like depression or anxiety, or if you're just going through a hard time, therapy can give you the tools to approach your life in a very different way. And that's why I'm excited to tell you about BetterHelp. BetterHelp's mission is to make therapy accessible. And this is an important mission because finding a therapist can be hard. BetterHelp is a platform that makes finding a therapist easy because it's online, it's remote, and by filling out a few questions, BetterHelp can match you to a credentialed therapist in as little as a few days. It's easy to sign up and get matched with a therapist. There's a link in my description. It's betterhelp.com/Ophelia Talks. Clicking that link helps support this channel, but it also gets you 10% off your first month of BetterHelp, so you can connect with a therapist and see if it helps you. And because finding a therapist is a little like dating, if you don't really fit with that therapist, which is a common thing in therapy, you can easily switch to a different therapist. So in combination with your crochet me time, you could benefit from having some helpful conversations with a credentialed therapist from the comfort of your sofa. So if you're struggling, consider online therapy with BetterHelp. Click the link in the description or visit betterhelp.com/Ophelia Talks. Thank you again, BetterHelp, for supporting this channel. So I'm using my usual 3.5 for DK. So let's get started with making our slip knot. Insert your hook. And we are going to chain 38. So yarn over and pull through the loop on your hook. Yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through. That's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 34, 35, 36, 37 and 38. And this is the chain that you will need to get started on your Anna square. Now, the magic number is 38. That's what you need to remember, make sure. And then the next thing you really need to make sure you remember is that you do a double crochet in the 6th stitch. So that means you go back 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In the 6th one, so this one here, you're going to yarn over, insert into the 6th one and do your double crochet. And once you have those two things in your head, 38 chains, start in the 6th one. That is it. Then everything else, this little bit will come to you. Okay, so now the next important thing is you are going to do boxes to get started. So we just need to keep doing chain 1, skip 1 and a double crochet in the next stitch, because by doing this here in the beginning with that 6th stitch we have made a little box. So now we are going to keep on making boxes, and of course we do this to the end of our row. So chain 1, skip 1, 1 double crochet in the next stitch. There we go, chain 1, skip 1 and double crochet in the next stitch. I will see you at the end of the row. So I'm nearly at the end of the row. I'm doing a chain 1, skipping 1 and then a double crochet in that very last stitch here. And as usual, this one always needs a lot of persuasion, but there, it's done it. So now I have here 17 boxes, and it does pay to count them. Okay, so, and I know you're all pointing at the screen now trying to count them, but there are 17 there. So now for row 2, we are going to get started by chaining, and we chain to already make a box. So let's see if we can do that. So you chain 3, so 2 for your double crochet and 1 for your chain. Then you turn and then you yarn over, and straight away we are ready to get started with a double crochet. So skip this one, double crochet in the next stitch. There we go. Voila. And now we are going to do a repeat of 7 double crochets in a row. So here we've got our first one, then here we do a second one, and of course because we are working with double crochets and with chain spaces in the row below, we're going to have to place our double crochet either around the chain space or on top of the double crochet. So here I've done 5, so another one here and another one here. There we go. So those are the 7 double crochets that I always think of. This is the row of the 7 double crochets, and that's what I mean by that. So you do 1 double crochet in the 7 locations here. Then you chain 1, you skip 1, and then here you start again by doing 1 double crochet in the next 7 stitches. So let's get on with doing those, and once again of course we are working with double crochets and with chain spaces, so we need to make sure we place them in the correct places. There we go. So then we chain one, skip one, and we do another set of 7 double crochets in a row, so 1 double crochet in the next 7 locations. There we go. Voila, that's 3 sets of 7. Now chain 1, skip 1, and we do another set of 7 double crochets in a row. And then here, number 7. There we go. So now we are going to end the row in a box. So chain 1, skip 1. And of course here we've got a chain to deal with. So just tip the work towards you. Find the chain that you're going to be skipping. This is a chain here that you're going to be going into. So try and pick up 2 strands and do your double crochet. This way it will make a nice box. And then we are now ready for row 3. So we're going to chain 3, 1, 2 and 3. We turn, you yarn over, ready for your double crochet in that first double crochet there, because we have to skip a stitch working in the next one. Then this is the row I like to refer to as the 3 double crochet row. So you're going to do 3 double crochets in a row. So this is the second one and this is the third one. And then you're going to do a chain 1, skip 1, and yes, another lot of 3 double crochets in a row. So this time, of course, we are working on top of the double crochets each time. And now here, this is of course where our 7 had ended. So this is where we are also going to do a box. So chain 1, skip 1, and then once again here, you do your 3 double crochets again. Then we are ready for a chain 1, skip 1, 1 double crochet in the next 3 locations. Voila, and this is how you are going to continue. And when you get to the end and you just have the box to deal with, you're going to chain 1. Then once again, you make sure you can distinguish the V's of the chain here. So you skip 1, yarn over, go into the next one, and you do your double crochet. There we go. Then you chain 3, 1, 2, and 3. You turn, and you're going to do row 2 again. So basically, you're going to do your 7 double crochets in a row again. So once again, this is the row that I refer to as a 7 double crochet row. And of course, after you've done 3 double crochets, you're going to go around the chain space for your next one. There we go. And then of course you're going to continue, because we've only done 4. We need to do 7 in a row. Voila, and that has made the iconic shape that we need to see in this square. Now, of course, chain 1, skip 1, and 1 double crochet in the next 7 stitches. Go. So I'm now going to repeat this until the end of the row. So I'm now at the end of my row. I'm doing a chain 1, finding my V to skip and my V to go into, there we go, creating a double crochet and making a box. So now we are ready for row 5, which is chain 3, 1, 2 and 3. We turn and we're going to, of course, skip this one, double crochet in that stitch there on top of the first double crochet of the row below. There we go. And this time here we are now ready for a boxes row again. So we're going to chain 1, skip 1, double crochet in the next, chain 1, skip 1, double crochet in the next, chain 1, skip 1, double crochet in the next. And although this is a very rhythmical pattern, it is enough just to keep your mind occupied because you are doing different things in each row, but also it's easy enough for you to know by heart. So once you know this pattern, you will have a skill that you can take anywhere. All you will need is a ball of yarn, a hook, some scissors, and you will be saved. So there we go, look at this. So chain 1, skip 1, double crochet in the next stitch. And it's easy to now continue making this square. It is then easy to make more squares, more colors, and yes, turn them into a blanket as and when you have enough squares. Doesn't have to be a race, doesn't have to be finished by tomorrow, but it's just one of those projects that you could be doing, for example, each time you're in a car, each time you have to travel to work, if you have to commute, if you are sitting on a bus and you are bored, this is the ideal thing to be making. One square weighs 15 grams, so you don't need a big ball of yarn to take with you either. So anyway, let's continue with the pattern. So I have now finished my repeat. So we are going to now start a repeat of 4 rows. So you're going to do row 2, row 3, row 4 and row 5. 2, 3, 4, 5. So row 7 double crochets, row 3 double crochets, row 7 double crochets, row boxes. That's how I do it in my mind. So now I am doing the row with the 7 double crochets. Chain 3, turn, skip 1, and I'm going to do my 7 double crochets in a row. And I do this sort of like this, and I quickly see that, yeah, I've only done 5, 2 more. I don't even have to count them as such. I can see that there's only 5, and that's a good thing. Look, 2, 2, 2, 1, 7. Okay, then we do a box and we continue. So I'm now doing my box at the end of my row. There we go. So this was my row of 7 double crochets in a row. Now 1, 2, 3 chains, turn, and this is the row of 3 double crochets in a row. So let's get started on doing those. So 3, chain 1, skip 1, and another 3 here. Voila, chain 1 and skip and another 3 in a row. And you continue like this. So I'm at the end of my row, chain 1 and a double crochet into that chain there. Voila. So this is part of our second repeat done. 1, 2, 3 chains, and we are going to do another row of the 7. And by now you should know what I mean by that. And in a way, it is good to build a pattern like this in your head with your own prompts and your own words. And it might not make sense to anybody else but you are making this square, you are getting it done, and you are having a little bit of mindfulness. You are able to concentrate on that square, on what your hands are doing, and on being just crocheting and not having to think about anything else going on. So this is how I have built this pattern in my head, where I know that there is a row of boxes to start with and a row of boxes to end. There's boxes on the side, there's boxes going through, and there are little holes. And then when you know that, you know 7, 3, 7 boxes. 7, 3, 7 boxes. And off I go. I can do this square basically in my sleep. And that is the skill, almost the habit that you have to build for yourself. And if it's another square that you like better, or anything else that you like, try to make it your own. Try to make sure that you know this pattern by heart without needing any reference, and you can just call it up and use it whenever you need to. So here we go. So now we have to do a boxes row. 1, 2 and 3. You turn and you do a boxes row. And then of course you're going to repeat these rows again to make sure you have a full square, and that square will mean that you have 4 repeats of these. So 1, 2, 3 and 4. So I will come back to you when I have finished my square. Now before I go away, I'm going to tell you that the next video there will be an ASMR video about how to do these squares, but of course it's just visual for you to watch. So you can see me crochet every single stitch. So there won't be any, oh, I will see you at the end of the row. Nope, in that video there is every stitch there. So hopefully you will also want to watch that video coming out next. But anyway, here I am. I'm going to continue with my square off camera, and I will see you when I have finished it. And here we are. I am just doing that last box to finish my square. And of course we now have a finished square to put with any collection of squares that you might already have, or this might be your first one. So I am going to get my box out in which I'm going to be putting these squares. I'm going to put them all together and keep on collecting them, keep on making them until I have lots and lots of squares, and then I'm going to put them together in a blanket. Now of course it doesn't matter how big or how small you're going to make this blanket, just keep making squares, keep collecting them, and at one point in the future you will be able to use these. Imagine you find out it's someone's birthday or someone is having a baby and you would like to give them a blanket, then you have already got some squares ready to turn into a blanket. And that is a good thing about this. This box does not need to be full or overflowing at all times. You can dip into it, use some squares, and then continue on your journey with making more squares. So I hope you have enjoyed this video. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!